What's good? It's Woog. I'm about to give Tyler the Creator's Chromakopia album a listen, but I wanted to first just make mention how interesting of a ride his career has been to this point. Like, when you consider that he started off being the ringleader of the very youthful, very controversial, kind of riot starter outfit Odd Future, and kind of a horrorcore rapper. Like, when you talk about like the themes and the content within his rhymes, like when he was first coming out with that Bastard mixtape, and then the Goblin album with the iconic music video for Yonkers, he went from all that to kind of now a rap elder statesman, to where he's like a multimedia, multi-genre artist who's now a two-time Best Rap Album Grammy Award winner. So he's gone from Odd Future frontman. Odd Future also, introduced us to the likes of Earl Sweatshirt, Frank Ocean, and had other then popular artists like Haji Beats and Left Brain and so forth. It's kind of unusual to see an artist display this type of growth. Now, we've seen artists go from, a younger style to a more mature style, but in terms of how his releases have been treated over the past 3 to 4 albums, it's almost got this avant-garde art pop treatment to it. And some of that is because of the visuals that come out around the time of the album drop, from the costume and the album cover of his Igor album. And now with the marketing around this Chromakopia new album, with the chroma settings, with that kind of marching teaser trailer, just very kind of off-putting, almost David Lynch, think Twin Peaks or Eraserhead, the horror movie. Just kind of unsettling imagery has been a frequent theme with Tyler the Creator releases. So with the marketing of this album, he's also dropped it on a Monday. Now think about that. Most album releases come out on a Friday, but he wanted to drop this album on a Monday because of what he feels is a disservice to the album when it's released on Friday. He thinks that it encourages passive listening because of the weekend's distractions, whereas if you drop the album on Monday, he's assuming or thinking that maybe the young fans can be listening to it on the way to school to start the week, so that it can create more engagement around the album, more discussion and collective absorption of the album as the week goes along. To where if it's dropped on the Friday, you've got the weekend's distractions to the point where it gets buried and it's kind of forgotten about by the time Monday comes around. So yeah, unusual release date for this album. And it almost kind of harkens back to the former industry standard of Tuesday album releases. Who remembers those? And it was that way until I believe 2015 is when they switched to Friday releases to try to mitigate piracy, music piracy. But yeah, those Tuesday releases almost feel like ancient history at this point, don't they? So yeah, once again, unusual marketing and even imagery to this new Chromakopia album. And to be honest with you, I didn't see this type of career shift coming. Like, I knew that he was a very talented MC. Like, even his earliest bars on the Wolf album or on other Odd Future releases, you could hear that he had first of all, a very commanding voice, very unusually baritone delivery. And he kind of had that sort of on beat / off beat, kind of going back and forth between being on beat and being within or between the beat with his rhyming cadence, to where a lot of those bars could kind of sound like a run on sentence, and he just kind of carries it with one very rhythmic, very multi-syllabic rhyming within a bar type of delivery. So he had that going from him from his earliest stuff. Not to mention, again, the kind of horrorcore shock rap punchlines in a lot of his stuff. So we knew he had that, and we knew that he had the charisma to kind of gain that following that, again, was almost cult-like when it comes to Odd Future. But what I didn't see coming was going from that to being this super taken seriously artist, where you see him in all these like sessions with Pharrell. He works with Pharrell a lot, and he's got, a lot of entrepreneurial spirit. He's got different brands, companies. He's got a successful annual festival, and one of the most interesting festivals in music, the Camp Flog Gnaw Carnival, which he curates. He's pretty trend-setting when it comes to fashion, just all these different things that kind of, surround the artistry where the music is still center stage, again, with these Grammy award winning albums. And I think that the turning point for him came after what I thought was almost like a fall off. Like, I thought that when he dropped Cherry Bomb, that the novelty and the buzz had died down, and that now maybe he was on his descent in terms of his career trajectory. So he had that Bastard mixtape, then he had the Goblin album, then he had the Wolf album, then he dropped Cherry Bomb, which did have some like standout cuts. But I thought that as an album, it wasn't as well received, and I didn't think that the attention around the album release was as meaningful as his past releases. But I think that the turning point came when he dropped Flower Boy, because if you look at the critical acclaim for that album, it was one, Grammy nominated. So this is the first time he was nominated for Best Rap Album Grammy, and then he would eventually win it with his next two albums, Igor and Call Me When You Get Lost. But yeah, I think that Flower Boy was the turning point for Tyler the Creator, where he went from this kind of shock rapper from his early stage to being a well-rounded artist who's making albums that are greater than the sum of their parts, and who is now to be taken seriously on that next level. So yeah, very improbable career arc to Tyler the Creator. Again, I like how he's kind of shaking things up with this Monday album release, and he's always doing something to kind of not necessarily up himself from what he did last, but to just to push the envelope and to try new interesting things. He's often been about that, and it's really been paying dividends if you consider what his reputation is these days, especially compared to what it was in his early days. So yeah, props to Tyler the Creator. And I'm wearing this MF Doom sweatshirt because you could tell that Doom is one of his influences. But yeah, let me know what you think about the career of Tyler the Creator. Did you see this coming during those early Odd Future days? Like, I would not have guessed that he would grow to become and establish the relationships required to be a two-time Grammy Award winner. So yeah, his game has matured, to use a sports reference, if you will. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I'm about to check out this Chromakopia album. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.